Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhamad Nabil Alhanif and this is my partner Farrassyifa Fuad Salim. We are from SMA Karisma Bangsa and our project is Puzzle, puzzle game designed to help people study about metabolism. First, let's talk about the background. So as we know it, the current pandemic situation forces us to use gadgets more often, including students. Sadly, many people still see technology as a mono-conceptual device for the means of entertainment and pleasure only. On the other hand, metabolism is one of the subject matter that tends to be complicated and complex, and requires memorization as its main learning method. That's why we created Puzzle, an educative puzzle game we designed to help people study about metabolism.
This research was carried out with the aim of knowing the effectiveness of using Puzzle in order to study the topic of metabolism schematically and systematically. Based on the background that has been stated before, there are three formulations of problem proposed in this study. First, what are the stages of developing Puzzle? Second, how does Puzzle work? And third, is the use of Puzzle effective in increasing the understanding of metabolic schemes? This research is limited to explaining the stages of development and effectiveness of Puzzle in improving students' understanding of metabolism. And Puzzle currently only works on PC and laptop platforms. There are several benefits that can be drawn from this research. Two of them, supporting metabolic learning activities by presenting metabolic schemes in an attractive and easy to understand, and develop a game in the field of education as an alternative method of learning metabolism. We are required to understand the types of learning styles, hope that our understanding can increase. Among the learning style expressed by the Neil Fleming is the FARC model. First, visual models that focus on the sense of sight. Second, auditory model that focus on the sense of hearing. Third, read or write model in which a person has a strong preference for information indicated by words. And lastly, kinesthetic model that involve movement. Video games are electronic games that include user interaction with the user interface and design input to create augmentation of visual and audio feedback displayed through devices.
When we begin Puzzle development, there are three languages that we're interested in. Those are Python, C++, and JavaScript. The comparison of which can be seen at the current slide. For the prototype, we decided to use Python because Python has a fairly short and simple syntax, and thus it is perfect for us who doesn't have much time to develop the prototype. For our final product, we decided to use JavaScript because JavaScript is a web-based language, which means it can be run through almost any browser without the need of installing anything, and thus making it easier for people to access our game.
There are 5 metabolic reactions that we use as game material, which can be seen in the current slide.
Methodology. So here are the timeline for Puzzle development and testing. There are several important terms during the development of Puzzle. Those are, first, play canvas, a web-based open source game engine that we use. Second, JavaScript, the programming language that we use. Third, modularity, a design philosophy that we hold dearly. Fourth, prefab. It is a type of reusable entity that we use a lot. Fifth, BFS, or short for breadth first search. It is a graph traversal and searching algorithm, and it is also one of the main algorithms that we use in Puzzle. And lastly, it is faith, because we have to have faith that our program will work.
For research techniques and methods, we use a qualitative survey as a method of testing Puzzle against the specified respondents. This is because a qualitative survey is a research method used to describe qualities that can't be described through a quantitative approach. The effectiveness data on respondents will be quoted using an instrument that can be packaged in the form of a questionnaire. The respondents involved in this research are the students of Karisma Bangsa School from grade 9 to grade 11 with a proportion of 10% per class. Determination of respondents will be done by random sampling to ensure a wide range of applications if the application is used in the future. I tested 4 indicators as a determinant of the success of the Puzzle in achieving its goal of becoming an alternative teaching material for metabolism. Among the indicators I tested were display, information presentation, user experience, and effectiveness of the Puzzle. From the 20 respondents we asked to participate in our survey, we got a score of 4.31, which means that the muzzle display is enough to attract students' interest in using the application. And similarly, we obtained a score about 4.43 in terms of information presentation. So we can conclude that the information described in the muzzle game is quite easy to accept and understand by students. Then, we got a score about 4.6 in terms of user experience, which means the average respondent agrees that the muzzle application is easy to use and apply. And most importantly, a score of 4.5 was obtained for the effectiveness of the muzzle game, which indicated that the respondents agreed that the muzzle game was effective in developing an understanding of metabolism. The following is the data we obtained through the survey in tables and graph.
So in conclusion, the use of muzzle has a direct positive effects on the understanding of Farrassyifa by high school students in the topic of metabolism. 3 of the 4 tested variables, namely display, presentation of information, and user experience, all supports the research objective of creating an effective application to help people study about metabolism. Besides, the presentation of metabolic materials through a schematic ways helps students to imagine metabolism more. So based on the data we've shown, we concluded that muzzle is a feasible and effective alternative method to study metabolism. That is all from us. Thank you for listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.